Freeway.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi
News.
It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. The news is also live on all affiliates across the 16 regions of the country. Western Region Premier FM 100.5, Sky Power FM 93.5 and Beach FM 105.5 all in Takrady. Bono Region, Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyain. Ashanti Region, we are live on Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. The news is also live around the world on citinewsroom.com. I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Coming up this hour, Minority in Parliament raises concern over delayed salary payment for over 15,000 health workers.
You are saying that you've taken it to cabinet for an approval. What sort of cabinet do you have to take for an approval when you have a clearance already? You're throwing dust in the eyes of the people. So government created a mess, and they've seen 10 months, it's caught up on them, and they are fixing it.
Also coming up, Education Ministry outlines plans to upgrade Category B schools to Category A to address placement challenges.
My thinking, in order that we respect equity, will be that into 2026 is to convert at least 10 category schools to Category B schools, then convert 10 Category B schools to Category A schools.
Still ahead, stakeholders meet over closure of Odobin Senior High School classroom block by contractor over 14-year unpaid debt. And later, government announces payment of 5 billion cedis out of 40 billion cedis arrears owed contractors.
5 billion as of Friday. That would have been the biggest, without a doubt, ever single payment to road contractors at a particular time in the life of any government in recent history.
All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is also live in the Volta region on Holy FM 98.5 in Aplao, Northern region Dasuma FM 99.1 in Yindi, Upper East Word FM 88.3 in Zuarungu, Mike FM 105.3 in Navrongo, and Upper West we are live on Bugli Radio 88.6 in Wa.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for choosing us. The Minority in Parliament is raising concerns over delays in the payment of salaries for health workers across the country. According to the group, the previous government secured financial clearance for 15,200 nurses and midwives in December 2024. Out of that number, about 8,000 have already been employed by the Christian Health Association of Ghana and the country's major teaching hospitals. The minority argues that funds are available and there is no justification for the health minister's move to now seek cabinet approval to pay the affected workers. Addressing a press conference earlier today, ranking member on the Health Committee, Dr. Ayu Efriye, criticized the government for what he described as unacceptable neglect of frontline health workers.
Why didn't government see the need? Money was allocated for 15,000. You came in 7,000 or almost 8,000 had started. The remaining were employed by Ghana Health Service, albeit they were late, but they were at post. You didn't see the need to tell the institutions to reject them. Neither did the institutions write to you to reject them. What it meant was that they filled the gap and they were needed to be at post. So the institution used them. Except for political reasons. They did not extend this for political reasons. And then 10 months down, they faced an embarrassment where the students or the staff went on a public agitation, demonstration, to draw your mind to this clearance and the need for extension. Embarrassing enough, you are saying that you've taken it to cabinet for an approval. What sort of cabinet do you have to take for an approval when you have a clearance already? You're throwing dust in the eyes of the people. So government created a mess. And they've seen 10 months, it's caught up on them, and they are fixing it.
Ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Dr. Ayu Efriye. Key stakeholders are holding a meeting to address the closure of a classroom block at Odobin Senior High School in the Central Region. The contractor, Roga Alumetel and Engineering Services Limited, hired by the school's Parent-Teacher Association, locked up an 8-unit classroom block to demand payment of a debt owed him for the past 14 years. As a result, school authorities have merged the affected classes with others, causing minor disruptions to the academic activities. Let's go on the phone lines and speak to my colleague in the Central Region, Akwesi Ado. Akwesi, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. How is this affecting academic work at the Odobin Senior High School?
Okay, so the situation has disrupted academic activities here in the Odobin Senior High School because early in the morning when we arrived here, it was officially announced by school authorities that they would now have to merge some of the classes. And so that is exactly that was done. And we do know that these classes are, or the students are pursuing diverse courses. And so having them merged means that it would really affect those who have elective subjects to cater for today. But just a few minutes ago, a meeting between the district chief executive and then the headmaster as well as the district directorate of education just concluded. And authorities have reopened the school building to be used by the students. According to the DCE, she has engaged the contractor, and so the contractor has agreed for them to reopen the classroom for use. They have pledged that whatever amount that is involved would be discussed extensively, and then they would ensure that the contractor is paid in full to prevent any further action from his end. Now, let me also add that the classroom itself, or the facility that is come under contention, is not fully completed. It's between 80 and 90% complete. She has pledged that government may consider to take over the project from the PTA and then fund it until it is fully completed.
Very well. Grateful for your time. Akwesi Ado is my colleague in the Central Region. Still on education, the Ministry of Education has announced plans to embark on an equity distribution initiative aimed at upgrading some Category B schools to Category A status. According to the Sector Minister Haruna Idrisu, the move is intended to ease placement challenges that prevent many students from gaining admission to their preferred Category A schools. Speaking at an education conference in Accra, he said with adequate budgetary support, the ministry will expand infrastructure in selected schools to make the initiative a reality.
We haven't, in the last month, we haven't expanded infrastructure at any Category A school to have done the magic for us. My thinking, in order that we respect equity, will be that into 2026, and I've had consultations and discussions with the president, I have his support and blessing, is to convert at least 10 category schools to Category B schools, then convert 10 Category B schools to Category A schools. And that will be backing it with infrastructure, with available classroom blocks, dormitories for students, and quality improvement by way of improved teaching, and then learning materials and learning aids. Not until you do that, you will struggle as I'm struggling to deal equitably with the matter of placement. Then for Category A school, we'll choose 5 or 6 of them spread across the country. I mean, we can take one in Central Region, 2 in Greater Accra.
Haruna Idrisu further disclosed that Cabinet has approved the payment of outstanding salaries owed to newly posted teachers, including graduates from colleges of education and universities.
A few weeks ago, myself and Chief Director received a petition from some teachers who are unhappy with the government over their unending. They worked for a number of months without pay. I'm happy to announce that Cabinet has given approval for the 6,200 teachers to be absolved. We'll begin the process in due course. They will have their IDs, but as I assured them, they will get back pay. But you see, I haven't demonstrated and pelted stones at us. They have to pay for the stones. We will give them back pay, but for for their conduct, what do we get in return? How that they didn't disrupt any academic work. So those 6,200 teachers, I think I can speak for both ministries in this matter. Cabinet gave the Minister of Finance approval to via budget and spend about 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to absorb a category of health workers and teachers. The process will start soon, and therefore no more picketing.
Haruna Idrisu is Minister for Education. President of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Kweku, has commended President John Dramani Mahama for his deliberate effort to enhance sports development in the country. He made the remarks during a courtesy call on the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. According to Keto Kweku, President Mahama's personal commitment, particularly to the Black Stars and the Ghana Premier League, is yielding positive results, including the team's qualification for the World Cup.
We are very happy to be here. I think that we'll work together and make sure that we all follow the agenda of the President of our country, who set out to reset all facets of the Ghanaian of our country, including football. And I think that the recent happenings, his personal commitment, his personal visitation to the team, is clearly having a manifestation on the football ecosystem. The GPL, I have said, is the best so far. The Black Stars are back in the Mundial where we belong to. And a lot more can be said. Coach football is being played. I remember when I took office in 2019 in the Volta region especially, coach football was being played in Oliho. Today we have 22 districts in that region playing coach football. That's a testament of the investment we are doing to the youth of our country. So we are very happy, and I'm glad to be meeting the beautiful and nice people here to share what we have together. Thank you.
President of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Kweku, expressing optimism that the Black Stars will win the World Cup. Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, called for closer collaboration with the Ghana Football Association to revive schools and colleges football as a way to identify and nurture young talents.
Between the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Ghana Football Association, supported by a corporate donor, to revive schools, colleges, and universities football so that we can identify young talents and groom them. So it's my opportunity to commend President of GFA for the leadership he's providing and urge him on that with discipline, the impossible can be possible. And Ghana would be there, and the US, Mexico, and Canada. We expect that they will come as gallant men when we participate in the FIFA World Cup. So be assured that he's a most celebrated person now with coach, our coach, Otto.
Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. Authorities managing the computerized school selection and placement system say all outstanding placement issues will be resolved by October 18. Parents with unresolved concerns after that date have been advised to contact the Free Senior High School Secretariat or the Ghana Education Service for assistance. Deputy Coordinator of the Free Senior High School Secretariat, Dr. Belinda Glover, told Citi News that the number of complaints has significantly reduced since the processes began, as most of the issues have already been addressed.
Initially, the numbers were becoming large and were overwhelmed from the start, but as we were able to manage the numbers and then we brought on board our strategies, we were able to manage the numbers. And as you can see, the numbers have gone down tremendously and people are happy. We have been able to do the changes for most of them. And I must say that things are going on well. And we hope that by Friday, we will bring everything to an end. Okay, so Friday doesn't mean that is the end. You can still come to the secretariat at the ministry. You can also go to GES, walk to our offices, and then we are ever ready to assist.
Deputy Coordinator of the Free Senior High School Secretariat, Dr. Belinda Glover. Ghana and China are set to conclude on a zero-tariff agreement by the end of this month. This follows the expansion of China's zero-tariff policy to cover all 53 African countries, including Ghana, to maintain diplomatic ties to boost Africa's economy. Speaking at a presidential investment forum in Beijing, China, President Mahama announced that both countries have reached an agreement towards achieving that course.
Between 2020 and 2024, China's exports to Ghana rose by nearly 46%, while Ghana's exports to China increased by over 11%. China's decision to grant zero tariff access to Ghanaian and African products signals the confidence in our partnership. It opens vast new markets for Ghanaian exporters, agro-processors, and manufacturers. And I'm happy to inform you that we reached agreement in principle, and we have targeted the end of October to be able to sign off on the zero tariff principle. I wish to commend the government of China for this act of solidarity. We are all aware that the multilateral rules-based trading system is being upended by unilateral slapping of tariffs on different countries. This is the time for us to solidarize and to come together, and this initiative by China is very timely.
President Mahama also said an interministerial committee is set to be inaugurated to conduct feasibility studies ahead of the establishment of a green digital city in Ghana. He estimates the project to be completed in phases within 20 years. Speaking at the same event, he indicated that the first phase would begin before 2029. We bring you that particular insert in a subsequent bulletin. This is still the City Point News on 97.3 Citi FM. I'm Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Still to come, government announces payment of 5 billion cedis out of 40 billion cedis arrears owed contractors. We have details of that, plus other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go away.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank account too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana Cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Road Minister Kwame Governs-Agboja has stated that the government has paid road contractors 5 billion cedis out of the 40 billion cedis arrears it inherited. He described the payment made last Friday as the biggest single settlement in the sector without borrowing. An earlier letter from the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry demanding urgent payment of outstanding debt has resurfaced online. But speaking on the City Breakfast Show, the minister assured contractors that payment will continue, though it is unlikely all arrears will be cleared this year.
What was presented to us end of September. And according to that document, GOG indebtedness as of that time was about 21 billion. And road fund was about another 5 billion. And that excludes Cocoa Roads, which is also a huge amount of money. Without a doubt, Bernard, we are close to about 40 billion, which was work done and unpaid across the road sector. And if you consider the fact that 5 billion as of Friday, that would have been the biggest, without a doubt, ever single payment to road contractors at a particular time in the life of any government in recent history. That is, I'm not saying cumulatively. At one bullet payment of 5 billion, that would have been the biggest. And we are doing this without borrowing from international sources and other things. I think President Mahama must be commended for and the finance minister must be commended for this commitment. That is why all those people who have been saying pay contractors, we are not doing this. Ask yourself, how were we able to pay 5 billion without the binging on borrowing from day to day? I think prudence and effective leadership.
The road minister added that he will announce subsequent payment schedules in Parliament when the House reconvenes.
When Parliament reopens, I'll be making a formal statement and tell you the outcome, because indeed, if we had rushed to pay, would have thrown away part of your money, because during the validation, it turns out that some of the certificates, that amounts that we were told we owe, it's not exactly so. So the finance minister has carried out the validation, and out of the validated amount, as of Friday, about 5 billion has been paid to contractors whose certificates have been validated. That is GOG. We are also in the process of commencing the payment of contractors owed under the old road fund, now the road maintenance trust fund. So the payment to contractors has already started, and the process will continue.
Kwame Governs Agboja is Minister of Roads and Highways. Chairman of Parliament Select Committee on Works and Housing, Vincent Opon Asamoah, has called on engineers working on the second phase of the Blekosto Sea Defence project to reconstruct damaged structures, especially schools in the affected communities. He also urged investors to help redevelop shorelines destroyed by tidal waves after the project's completion. During a visit to the site, Vincent Opon Asamoah appealed to government to provide alternative livelihood support for residents who have lost their sources of income due to sea erosion.
These lands here should be major prime land that should attract any investor. I believe that once we get investors that are interested in investing in this area, then I will support the relocation. I will then support a situation where we relocate them, and at the end of it, we leave the place to bare and nothing is done here. That would be waste of resources. So for us, we need to be thinking about going beyond the lagoon. Let's put up some structures. Let's get them to go there, and then find economic livelihood empowerment, alternative livelihood empowerment, because look at it, the entire population here depend on the sea, their livelihood. So once we are relocating them, then we should be thinking about the economic situation of these people. So we have to find alternatives for them.
Chairman of Parliament Select Committee on Works and Housing and MP for Doma East, Vincent Opon Asamoah, meanwhile Assembly Member for the Amutinu Salakope electoral area, Sylvester Kumewu, said despite ongoing work, communities continue to be hit by tidal waves. He, however, commended government for the progress made so far and noted that the completion of the Sea Defence project remains the only lasting solution to the problem.
I am extremely happy that the project has started and is progressing steadily, even though we are still experiencing further distraction. But we believe that in the coming days, the project will cover the rest of the communities and they will be fully protected. Right. Well, I have always had my reservation about relocation, because these are people who have spent all their lives by the sea. So when you are taking them away from the sea, you need to provide them with an alternative source of livelihood, which I'm not too sure government is ready to embark. So the only solution to this problem is the sea defense that we are experiencing, and we pray that the contractor expedite action so that the rest of our properties will be protected.
Sylvester Kumewu is Assembly Member for the Amutinu Salakope electoral area. Convener of the National Boardroom Governance Summit, Professor Douglas Boatin, is calling for a formal face-to-face transition model to foster institutional continuity and shield national projects from the disruptive effect of the 4-year political cycles. According to him, frequent wholesale changes without proper physical transitions lead to repeated mistakes and the loss of collective memory. Speaking at the National Boardroom Governance Summit 2025 in Accra, Professor Boateng urged chairpersons across all sectors to institutionalize formal face-to-face transitions to preserve institutional memory and ensure sustained progress.
We lose memory and pay for amnesia with repeated mistakes and wrongdoings. Moving forward, we as chairpersons need to institutionalize formal face-to-face transition between the ongoing and incoming chairs, including documented handovers that cover strategy, risk investigations, and commitments to stakeholders. Increasingly in most developing economies, outgoing chairs are being appointed as honorary chairs to pass on wisdom and guide incoming chairs. There's nothing wrong with us also doing that. We are one people. We should never ever let politics divide us, because at the end of the day, when the ship sinks, it's not just MPP or NDC, it's us all. We all suffer. So it is our duty as chairperson, whether you are politically affiliated to another party or not, to think of Ghana first.
Professor Douglas Boateng further urged boardroom chairpersons across the country to separate strategy from politics to promote sustainable growth and development.
Enshrine due processes for board leadership so that dissent in public interest is not punished as disloyalty. And please, separate strategy from politics. Separate strategy from politics, very important. You know, strategy loves the long view. Politics loves the shortcut. Strategy loves the long view. Politics loves the shortcut. The chair stands between them to defend tomorrow from the temptation of today.
Convener of the National Boardroom Governance Summit, Professor Douglas Boateng. MTN Mobile Money says it is intensifying its fight against fraud by taking education campaigns directly into local communities across the country. Speaking during a sensitization exercise at the Abubloshi Lorry Station in Accra, Senior Manager for Commercial at MTN Momo, Abdul Majid Rufai, said the initiative dubbed Shine Your Eye is designed to raise awareness on fraud and protect customers at the grassroots. He explained that beyond television and radio, the exercise uses community engagement and drama demonstrations to teach customers how fraudsters operate and how to safeguard their accounts.
We have decided to bring a project called Shine Your Eye. Shine Your Eye meaning we need to take the fraud education to every single community that we live in. We are spread all over the country, and our team are spread all over the country. The exercise we are doing here today, we are doing same across all the regions of Ghana. Every week we are in one community or the other, educating customers on fraud, on how to safeguard themselves against fraud. Once we are at it, we do drama, we demonstrate how the fraudster operates, and we also educate our customers how they can safeguard. One of the key education that we continue to give our customers is the fact that there's nobody from MTN that will call you without using the number 0244 for 300,000. When the MTN number called you also, the 024, nobody will ask you for OTP or your PIN. So that's why we believe the education that we need to put out there, we need to take it to the communities. We don't necessarily need to rely on TV and radio alone, but we need to go to the grassroots.
Abdul Majid Rufai, Senior Manager for Commercial at MTN Momo. Director and Company Secretary of the Africa Education Trust Fund, Professor Goski Alabi, has called on African nations to rethink how they can actively embrace technology and artificial intelligence. Speaking at the media launch of the fund's AI conference scheduled for November this year, Professor Alabi acknowledged concerns about privacy breaches but stressed that the technology's transformational potential in sectors such as education, agriculture and business cannot be overlooked. She noted that it is time to move beyond using AI for simple tasks and harness its full capabilities to drive meaningful development and innovation.
It is supposed to gather the men and the women around Africa and the diaspora to start thinking through and reimagining how we can deploy AI to the benefit of Africa so that Ghana can develop. But most importantly, we believe that today's event is not just a launch. It is a declaration that Africa will not be a passive consumer of technology, but an active architect of intelligent, ethical, and inclusive innovation.
Professor Goski Alabi is Director and Company Secretary of the Africa Education Trust Fund. And that's it for today's edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Please log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. I'm Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Thank you for your company.
City News. We speak first. Reach out.